Okay, Muzz. Just catching up after 1-0 defeat against Corsham today. What are your thoughts on that?
A little bit mixed, to be fair. I thought we were, very good first half. They had moments, we had moments, but I think in general, I think the clear-cut chances maybe came from us that we actually created. They did have a good chance. Don't get me wrong, but it was a clearance that went through that our two centre halves sort of didn't deal with, and then he's put it into the side netting. But I think I never felt under too much pressure first half. But it was a very open game. It was a very open game. They're a very good technical team. They're an experienced team. We're a young team who can be a little bit naive at times. We've got legs, but we will improve on that. And I've just said to the guys that in there, they should be disappointed because I think today, 3 years ago, this would have been a reasonable result for us. I think now we're actually disappointed that we didn't get something from the game today. So that's why it's mixed. I'm gutted we lost, but I'm mixed that we had a good 45, and then we didn't quite do enough second half, but we did still get chances.
Yeah, I thought the wind was really strong today. So first half we were playing into the wind. Second half had the wind behind us. I think actually, arguably, we played better when we were going into the wind.
Yes, yeah, we did, which was the polar opposite to last week. So it was like, if we win the toss, let's go in at half time in a reasonable position and maybe use the wind to our advantage. Whereas last week we had the wind, we didn't take advantage, and then we got a sucker punch. So it's a bit weird because it was my decision to do that today, and it hasn't paid off. But I think that, if we'd had played like that first half, second half last week, we'd have probably picked up the 3 points. Disappointing now we've got no points from the 2 games, and when realistically probably could have had 2.
Yeah, I think last week we probably had double figures of chances on goal. Today, something around that, 8, 9, 10 chances that, maybe not gilt-edged, but were decent chances. So it's probably frustrating that we're not scoring as many as you'd like.
Yeah, we did a bit of finishing on Thursday night because we've identified we've been bit snatchy in our chances, and if our front three aren't getting those opportunities, we need to score goals from elsewhere. And I think one of the passes we played first half that Corey got into the box, it was really good. There was 3 or 4 passes. Kieran's laid it onto him. He's had a touch. He's then checked inside. I don't know if the keeper saved it or was blocked, and the keeper's made another good save towards the end. So we've had shots on target in efforts. Realistically, I think Merch has only made 1 save. So is as disappointed as I am, I have to take the positives, and I will take the positives, and we've got to take the positives going into Tuesday night, because that was a big game for losing 2 in a row. Disappointing. Now we've got to put that right Tuesday night.
Yeah, Tuesday night we're at Lydney. They're struggling a bit, but I have no doubt that your old friend Lee Smith will have them fired up for that game.
Yeah, I've been in the same position as Lee. When I first came here, it's a tough job to rebuild a club. It's a tough job to build a team. But this league is weird. I've just seen the scores today, and I'm looking at it and thinking, teams that have been on a really good run have just got bopped. Other teams that you think are going to struggle have won a game, and you just think it is still so mixed at the moment. So we will be 100% focused on Tuesday night. We have to get back to winning ways. Like I said, I wish Lee all the best for the rest of the season after Tuesday night. But Tuesday night, he'll be having the same feelings that I've got, that he needs to win and I need to win.
Yeah, I see Eli Simpson went off. Looked like he picked up an injury. What's the news there?
Just a tight hamstring. We didn't want to risk anything. We've got Pritch that can come on. So it was a no-brainer. Hopefully he might be fit for Tuesday. If not, like I said, we've got a squad that I'm totally happy with. So just a little bit tight. I'd rather him come off now and miss 1, maybe 2 games than miss 5 or 6.
Yeah, and then Tuesday. Other than that, everybody fit and available.
I think so. I think everyone's available Tuesday. They said we just got to kick on. You know, the dressing room was a little bit flat when I left after, you know, the little bit of debrief, and it should be. If we want to progress and we want to move on, you've got to be disappointed when you don't get a result. And I'm disappointed. You know, so if I'm disappointed and they're disappointed, at least that we collectively we've got that hunger to drive yourself forward for Tuesday.
Good job. See you Tuesday, Maz.
Yeah.